Imagine driving away from base camp and then needing to walk back. A micromobility device with 30 kilometers of range can be compact enough to tuck behind a seat or in a cavity and carry along. Even on a long trip with a full load of passengers, supplies, and equipment. The most significant technical challenge I had was loose, deep, dry sand. And I was at a surface analog that NASA uses for the Moon. The surface of the Moon is covered in a deep layer of powder after eons of asteroid impacts.
Need a snowplow.
Rules make us predictable by establishing a reinforced behavioral box. That same box also confines what we think can possibly happen. I work at Johnson Space Center, so I contacted a team of experts at Glenn Research Center. Traction over rocks and sand is a generic challenge for any configuration of wheels. And the team at Glenn has studied the problem extensively. You might have seen their recent Veritasium episode. Dr. Orvak sent me a literal doctoral dissertation on the topic. So what does this team think that I should try next? They said I should try a bigger wheel size and more compliance. I actually know something about compliance. I have had several flat tires. Low tire pressure allows the vehicle to roll sideways in a turn. Losing controllability is uncomfortable and I don't like it. But many people can quickly graduate to riding on gravel. So I am at least going to try riding on a flat tire in deep, loose sand. I prepare by loosening a patch of sand. I have 2 wheel sizes that I can use. This 24-pound unicycle has a 10-inch wheel. The inner diameter is only about 6.5 inches. This 32-pound unicycle has a 16-inch diameter wheel. The small diameter tire is 3 inches wide, and the large diameter tire is 2 1/8 inches wide. Neither tire has deep tread. This is 2,000 miles of wear. With a hard, small, bald tire, I ride into the sand, and I don't get far. I also spin out in the loose sand. The unicycle is completely impractical under these conditions. Graphing my results, I was only able to ride for short hops when the tire was hard. Next, I'll adjust the tire pressure. I'm dropping to 70% of an atmosphere, 10 pounds per square inch. I keep riding back and forth through the loose patch where the machine sinks in. The machine still slips, but the improvement is marked. For this tire, I was also able to drop the pressure to 5 pounds per square inch, or 35% of an atmosphere. I could ride continuously for several minutes between slips, so this is promising. As the rider, I have to say 5 felt more controllable than 10, but the graph says my performance was similar. Let's reset the conditions, and then try the wheel with a 60% larger diameter, but 30% narrower tread. The tire is hard, more than 2 atmospheres, and the device is so difficult to control that I can hardly mount it. I give up. This big tire was worse than the little tire. I think I could try that. So now I try 70% of an atmosphere. That's 10 pounds per square inch in the tire. Occasionally it feels wobbly and I step off, but this is much better than a hard tire. I had a lot of fun doing something I thought might not be possible, and I'm curious to see where this could go next. I'm still hopping, but my hops take me farther. I think the big surprise for me is that the little tiny unicycle worked as well or better than the large unicycle. On Father's Day, my son and I joined a group ride in downtown Houston. I rented an InMotion V11. This tire had street tread like my others. It isn't knobby. The V11 also has a suspension. Of course I challenged it at least a little.
There you go.
And then I saw the volleyball court. All that dry sand, and here I am with an even bigger, wider tire to try. It isn't digging or cutting deeply into the sand, but the wheel is definitely slipping and it is wildly difficult to control. Well, a big hard tire is no better than a small hard tire.
Yeah, I think it needs some air let out of its tire.
It is time to compare notes with Glenn Research Center.
It seems more important to be wide than large diameter.
There's probably some sweet spot, and honestly, that's something we've always wanted to understand too. Is if you make diameter generally, all their factors aside, gives you more benefit in soft soil. But if the width is too narrow, then you're kind of knife into the ground like a bike tire.
Exactly.
Increasing the width too much, you get diminishing returns, and sometimes it can be negative. Imagine like a steamroller, which just have sand piling up. What you see on like an ATV or a rover, those are usually wider. So it does make, I'm not too surprised that the wider tire did perform better, given the diameter size you have to work with too. I think if you found kind of that sweet spot in width, going wider than that probably won't help you much, whereas going bigger in diameter would give you more benefit.